Hello friends, welcome back to Fix It With Beer. We're here today with the 2012 GMC Sierra 1500. We're gonna do the rear shocks on it today. I went ahead and ordered up the front and the rear. We're gonna start off on the rear. It's hot in Texas today, friends. Coors beer, flavor of the day. Let's get started. This is an extra step, but I promise it's going to make your life a little bit easier. We're going to go ahead and lower and get out of the way the spare tire. Super easy. This is located right behind your seat. I had my key ready because I knew that this was here. Just pull that out, set it aside. Square end goes in there. Twist it around till it grabs. Handy dandy little tire wrench. Guys, if you've never done this before, that little cable comes down and then you just kind of fish this little piece out. It's hard because you can't see it, but it's a little T-piece and you got to kind of turn it enough. See, this piece right here has to go down through the little center hole and then up like this, and that's how it pops out. But anyway, we're going to get this out of the way. Hey, might be a good idea to check pressure on your old spare tire just in case. Let's go ahead and open up our box. I haven't even opened this yet. I got on the old River website and I've had pretty good luck with these guys before. Bought brake parts from them and some other stuff. And it's always been pretty decent quality at a great price. So like I said, I ordered the fronts and the backs. Two backs right here. So this is all we're really worried about today. We can get the rest of this stuff out of the way. I don't know if it's going to say anywhere on here that confirming that these are the right size, but we're going to open them up and find out. Oh, they look perfect. They come with this little strap on for keeping them compressed. Yep, they look right to me. 21 millimeters, guys. Everything down here in this little adventure is going to be 21 millimeters. I don't have a 21 millimeter box wrench, but I have a croissant wrench, also known as the New Orleans wrench, and the Big Easy. And then I got the big compact. We're gonna see if we can fit that in there, or the big impact. We'll see if we can fit that in there. So here we are on the cap inside. And this, like I said, is 21 millimeters. You know what? Truth be told, I put a 13/16 on there and it worked. So it's under a little bit of tension there. You guys gotta kind of screw it all the way out. Okay, let's get the top. Okay, so right up here at the top of the shock, guys, there's the other bolt is right here, and the nut on this one is welded in, so you don't have to get a wrench on the back side of it. Okay. All right, so there's the top bolt. There's the bottom bolt, and they should be the same, but we'll keep them separate. All right, so there's our old original shock. Looks pretty dang close. Let's just see what happens when we undo this strap. I think we all know what's gonna happen, but let's just see. So there it goes. Pops right out, and I bet it's gonna be about the same length as the one we've got. Remember, this came out of the top. You wanna have the bigger part at the top and the smaller part at the bottom. We're gonna get this top guy in here first. You know, it's always a problem for me when I gotta do something left-handed. It actually went pretty smooth though. I hate to just go hit it with this great big thing, but we're not gonna put it in tight. We're just gonna get it secure. The tricky part is gonna be, guys, we gotta compress it that far to get it into this spot. The shock has extended. We got to either manually compress it, we got to get the jack, we got to do something. What I'm going to try to do is I think I can manually compress it and then super real quick you try to run this bolt in here and we'll see if it works. It's not all my might, but it's almost all my might. And I'm going to set it right there, and then watching your fingers, I'm going to kind of let it go, and then I caught it. Okay, if I try to get a little bit of pressure off it and get the bolt pushed through. That worked. You can muscle it, guys. I'm not that big, I'm a small guy. Okay, so that's gonna be installed. I thought that was gonna be more of a problem than it was. So then we're gonna go back to our torquer down. I'll tell you right now, guys, the torque spec is 84. And I'm gonna check that here in just a second with my very accurate torque wrench. I'm just gonna make sure that we're right at 84 foot-pounds. Beep. And then down here, we're gonna do the same thing. Beep, 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 beep. That's pretty good. All right, shock number one done. Let's go to the other side. We're on the passenger side now. We got our New Orleans wrench back out here. And we got the impact for the bottom. And that came right out, piece of cake, guys. You know, I'm sure there's gonna be some of you guys watching this, maybe up north somewhere where you're dealing with a little bit of rust and stuff. And you're gonna be going, yeah, it's easy for the clown in Texas with no rust on his truck. I'm sure it's more difficult when these parts are experiencing corrosion. I can't get the impact up there up top, so I got to go get the old ratchet strap and see if I can reach up there with the ratchet. All right, friends, we're here on this top bolt here. I'm gonna see how much. Oh, she's tight. Oh, but it's moving. All right, we got it. I may have been able to get the impact up there, but I wasn't sure. This is actually not too bad. This side is definitely a little trickier. Now, I've got this aftermarket exhaust on here, so that might be contributing to my problem. I don't know what the stock exhaust would be like. Oh, loud clanking. All right, there we go, guys. We got it. We'll just kind of wiggle her out. Okay, let's take a look at this guy. All right, so on this one, guys, I think we're gonna try to leave this strap on. We're gonna go and loosely put the top bolt in, and then we're gonna try to catch this as it's doing its expansion on the way down and see if we can catch that nut or catch the bolt in there so that we don't have to try to muscle it like we did the last one. We're gonna come up here and get the top in. And we'll go ahead. Oh, I'm getting so much garbage in my eyes right here. All right, well, that's just hanging. We'll go ahead and tighten this one up a little bit, not all the way. Okay, so we got it not quite tight. What we're going to try to do here, see if this works, is I want to get it like this, and I want to have my bolt ready to go. And as this thing is coming down, when it starts to expand, I'm going to try to catch it. This may be the dumbest thing ever. All right, guys. I'm going to be very careful to watch my fingers and see if I can catch it. Oh, it's coming. And I'm just letting it go slow. And, oh, we got it. It worked, guys. I didn't get the other side, but I got one side. There we go. Really, guys, if you kind of rotating it right there, kind of moved it into place. That's maybe the biggest secret here, is rotating it. And then this other side is threaded, so you got to go ahead and run it with the drill there. So we're going to put the nut on the other side. We'll get the right torquage on here. Remember, 84 foot-pounds, it says in the book, or at least that's what someone said on YouTube. Oh man, I got that one pretty good, actually. Oh yeah, that one's on there tight. Hey, you guys can do this. It's not difficult. We did this thing pretty quick and easy. I've got to put the tire back on. That'll just take a minute, and finish my Coors. They wanted to get me for $1,200 to do the fronts and $800 to do the back. That whole kit with the fronts and the backs was $280, I think, from Amazon. So quick and easy way to save a bunch of money on a project that is not that difficult. Hey, stay tuned. Next week, we're gonna do the fronts, and those are a little bit more challenging. Thanks for watching. Hey, the video helped you. Hit the old like and subscribe. You know how it goes. Whoa, that almost got me. Don't show that in the video.